Yo, I am still not 100%. There were some really, really juicy PTR notes that went live like not even 5 minutes ago. I was literally in the process of finishing my PTR video from the notes on Monday. And as I was finishing up the video, I think it was on Monday. It was probably Wednesday, yesterday. Excuse me. Let me get my chat. Also, hi. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's well. A really, really, really good notes, guys. So, for those of you guys that have already watched Jamie's video or Richie's video, which again, we're getting a second starting area, guys. A second one. And I did want to basically
they don't have to know that.
I did want to highlight something, and so this was go here real quick in my interview with Steven. So going back to the starting experience, and this is another thing that I'm kind of worried about too, Steven, and with you guys utilizing and kind of inventing this dynamic gridding system that you guys, showcased a little while ago. I basically asked the question, like, are you going to be able to take advantage of dynamic gridding? Because my fear initially was having a single spawn point in the starting area as being problematic for server congestion and longer queue times, and just overall being, I think in this day and age, is bad, right? Like if you pick Kalar, and 3,000 people are rushing to go in Kalar, and then the server just crashes because there's 3,000 people in Lion's Hold. That's really shitty. But I want you to hear Steven's answer.
Because I mean that is basically the problem statement. Hey,
yes,
my starting experience in other MMOs is inundated with connectivity issues, with lag, with rendering issues, with not being able to kill, number of spawns in my introductory quests, like whatever that is. Now we have some intended solutions that aren't yet all online.
Listen.
However, the way that we've architected our back end is in a way where we can custom define certain replication values within zones that we define. Now, one of those zones that's going to be obviously very important are the starting zones. And there are four intended starting zones for the map. And
there's 5 with Tolnar, but without Tolnar being, it's basically the 4 main races, excluding Tolnar.
In order to satisfy the way that player movement throughout the world is going to be different and unique, we don't want a cookie cutter approach so that we simulate the same node progression across all realms, right? We want it to be something that is unique per realm. And in order to achieve that, what we do is we bifurcate immediately the player movement, and we do that through certain narrative systems. We have multiple forward operating bases, 2 per starting location.
2 per starting location. He literally said this in my interview, and me, dumbass over here, completely looking at my second monitor, probably worried about chat or my mods or doing something dumb. I literally did not even catch the fact. And listen to what he says right now. He says we're gonna have 2 starting experiences per starting zone.
So, for example, in the Riverlands, we have Samia's Hope, which isn't quite yet finished construction yet on.
He fucking said it. Somalia's Hope, right, which is not yet done, and
we have Lion Hope for the Kalar and the Veyloon.
Right.
So immediately we're starting to funnel players in different directions.
2 separate directions.
On race, on
Strix, thank you so much for the love the content, man. Thanks for all you do. Thank you so much, Strix. Really appreciate the sub, man. Thank you. And welcome to the stream, guys. Vinny, thank you so much for the follow as well. Thank you as well. Like and Spike, thank you so much for the sub prime. Thank you. He literally said it in this interview that we're going to have 2 separate starting experiences, and both are on different server workers. So I was technically, like, I'm not gonna say I was right, but it was like I guess I was thinking about dynamic gridding a little bit differently, because whenever I noticed the dynamic grids and how each server worker was like a block, my whole thing was I didn't want you to spawn on a single block and that was going to cause the entire slowdown, right? So the fact that they're starting two starting experiences in Lion's Hold, Salma's Hope, that's going to allow faster queue times, less congestion, and more grids to offer different directions, which is so fucking primo. And again, you've already seen this interview, but I just thought it was really freaking cool that he even mentioned this during my interview, and I completely missed it like a fucking dumbass. But so again, I want to go over with you guys, besides the really cool PTR notes that we did get, there were some brand new ones that came out today. So I'm going to start reading them, okay? Let me see. So we got archetype updates. This is for the tank. So all my tank players out there. Courage. Change it so this applies stagger to targets struck by weapon combo finishers. Courage generation from shield assault and weapon combo finishers has been increased from 25 to 33. Vengeance. Progression steps are no longer tied to shielding. Damage reduction to 90% of base damage. Change cost to 33 courage. Change from 4 steps to 3 steps. Added a cleave mechanic similar to basic attacks. Damage increase per step has been rolled into the base version and reduced from 15% to 5% per stack. Change the buff icon to indicate what step of vengeance you were on. Relentless Vengeance now increases the shielding amount by 50%. It's a lot of changes to a single ability. Then we got Ground Pound. Courage cost reduced from 40 to 33. Adjusted this to be a wide line attack. Fortify. No longer has a minimum courage cost. Blitz. Will now always travel the full distance to target or stop your character after 2 seconds. Corruption. These are corruption changes, guys. Huge corruption changes. Made changes so you need to force flag for PvP to heal a corrupted or combatant player. Added settings for required force flagging to heal combatants to combat settings. Made changes so you no longer become a combatant for healing yourself. Made changes so you no longer become a combatant for damaging a corrupted player. That was a big issue too. Corrupted and combatant status will be more clear. For example, health bars are always red for targets that you can harm, which is also another problem that was happening, and that's a very good change. Added corruption stats to the character page, also really, really good. Reduce the number of kills required to grind off corruption. That's an interesting one. Now, these are changes to commissions. Added new commissions to Winstead, Marilith, Selma's Hope, New Ayla, and Jova. Added bounty commissions to the pool of available commissions for players who are level 3 to 8. Adjusted the area for where characters get credit for kill commissions like Lionhold. Now, these are some environment / visual changes. Made several visual and lighting updates to Somalia's Hope. Made lighting effects made lighting updates to Carfin. Fixed various visual bugs with roads. Fixed various visual bugs with terrain. Fixed an issue with beards. Not working with all armors. These are some changes to nodes. Force the cost of mayoral commissions and increase the amount of time before they expire. Player commodity vendor will now show when players do not have enough storage space to purchase commodities. Added a level requirement to plunder quests and moved the plunder quest giver to nodes. Really, really, really good. This is the economy stuff. So this is all economy changes. Increase the number of tier 1 gatherable spawns, which I thought was really interesting. Increase the max stack size for bags to be 20 for novice, 40 for apprentice, and 60 for journeyman. Added the Sweat of Your Brow quest to Somalia's Hope. Added the Sweat of Your Brow quest to provide one of 5 different horses, guys. So now when you actually are the second to last quest where you actually get your horse, now you have a choice of 5 different horse options, which is really, really, really cool. Added copper gear to line hold and node vendors. Added descriptions to glint, player commodities, and stolen cargo to explain how they can be used. Added higher job sizes to processing recipes. Change animal husbandry recipes to separate the mount and beast of burden outcomes. Remove profession stations from Ayla, ruins of Ayla starting area. Added more recipes using lumber. Updated gathering station iconography. Fixed an issue preventing players from finishing Sweat of Your Brow if they close the quest, turn in dialogue. Fixed bugs with unpacking commodities. Adjusted spawn times of some trees. Now, these are some changes to NPCs. Let me see. Adjusted the location of NPCs in Somalia's Hope. Reduced the elite rankings of some bandits within the Highwayman Hills courtyard from 3 stars. Made changes to enemies in the Church of the 7 Stars. Adjusted the attack range for plant-type enemies so basic attacks will hit targets even if they are running away. Made changes to enemy difficulty and placement in Urson's Cavern. Guys, I'll just say this. NPCs, they have fixed mob controller AI because mobs are not just sitting there doing nothing anymore. They are hitting back and hurting hard. Let me just say that. Now, these are changes to loot. Added additional loot drops for bows, focuses, and shields. Updated the gear drop chance and quality of dropped gear based on the star ranking of mobs, which I think is a good one. Fixed a bug causing loot to not automatically deliver to characters that won the loot roll. Reduced the loot roll duration from 60 seconds to 15 seconds. I think that's a good change. Fixed bugs with chat loot roll notifications. Change looting visuals. These will change as you remove items from the loot pile instead of after the loot window is closed. So these are some changes to performance. Improve performance on certain areas of the map. Made improvements to reduce server crashes. Some general changes. Fix an issue causing the camera to sometimes get stuck in the character's head. That happened to me several times. Fix various mount movement visuals, which there was a lot of them. Fixed issues with the scale of icons on the minimap. That was a big one. And fixed a variety of typos. So there is some known issues currently. Let me see. Somalia's Hope commissions are asking you to do things that are further away than expected. The Sweat of Your Brow has some steps that are bugged to require fuel. While you can collect fuel to progress this quest, this isn't an intentional change. The attunement shrine has moved for Welcome to Vera, but the quest objective marker is still showing the old location. This shrine is north of the gates to the left. I think they meant in Somalia's Hope. Or Samia's Hope or whatever. So those guys are basically all of the changes. There is a shit ton of them. And when I wanted to make the video originally on the PTR notes, one of the devs reached out to me and said, hey, you might want to wait because we're going to be adding more than just what you saw here. And I was like, oh, okay. Like what happened, right? So I kind of just was waiting, and I was like, you know what? Let me just at least give a video out kind of explaining some of these things. But dude, I am blown away. And again, there might still, because PTR is being tested as of right now, the PTR is currently up. And believe me, the PTR guys, I was playing yesterday, and holy shit, it was smooth as butter. Holy fuck, the servers. And again, I know maybe many people aren't being able to test or whatever, but mobs were so reactionary. Dude, the goblins have this ability called rock throw. They have another ability called roll. And of course they have their just their basic auto attack. And dude, I died. Like, I remember being on a fighter being like, not even an issue. Like, I can take on 3-4 goblins, like no problem. I could not do that yesterday at all. Like, these mobs, bro, were at another level. Like, I'm telling you, like, something happened. Something changed. Let me see what I saw lurking while driving, excited for the mob AI improvements, dude. Honestly, if you were looking for a challenging experience or a challenging MMORPG, bro, you found it. Dude, it was, yeah, they locked in 100%. Holy God. Like, I was talking to some of the content creators when we were in the PTR yesterday, and I was like, dude, they made some more changes than what they're listing here, because I'm not saying the fighter feels nerfed. I just think the mobs are actually working now. So I have a complete different take on how challenging the world is compared to when I started, because the mob controllers were always so broken. Sometimes mobs would work. Sometimes they would just stand there and do nothing. They ain't standing there and doing nothing anymore, guys. They are, man, they are hurting. And I think it being in a group is going to matter more than ever. Cool to hear this interesting insider PTR info. Dude, thank you so much, Nikki. Honestly, I'm just saying this stuff to give you guys hope. You know, the people that, again, the vast majority of people. I apologize, guys. I'm not 100% yet. I have a cough drop in my mouth. The amount of people that I know are jaded and are upset, or, you know, just thinking, you know, how many times we've been into early access games and, you know, like they're thinking, oh, this game is just going to be the same thing, right? This game is just going to be some bullshit, you know, that they're going to say they're going to do all these things and they're not going to do anything in reality because, you know, I played games like X game and they were promising the moon. And then when we got in there, like they didn't do shit. Like a good example recently was PAX Day. There was a lot of people very excited for that game. And when it went into alpha in January, many people left tons, I'm talking tons of feedback for the PAX Day developers. And then when they literally just went radio silent and they ended up pushing to early access, they made the game worse. And everyone was like, did y'all not listen to the pages of feedback that we literally gave you guys? Like, and it wasn't even the amount of content. The thing for many people was the building, the gatherers, the professions. There was pages upon pages of feedback for players saying these are way too many materials. You need to increase storage. You need to do this. And they literally did nothing. And I'm not saying they still haven't done anything. I'm saying I'm talking as far as when early access started. And that's the difference, guys. Like, and you can understand why the large majority of people are jaded, because that's been the very common experience we have as MMO gamers in this space. We have people that are backhanding us with $90 mounts and then also say we're listening to you guys, right? And it's not the fact that the developers are like evil or anything like that, right? It's the fact that these billion-dollar companies have shareholders to answer to. And as passionate as some of these developers are at these billion-dollar companies, they get foreshadowed by the C-suite and by executives and by CFOs, CEOs, and their decision-making processes to make money. That is the oil and water, so to speak, right? And here we have Steven Sharif not answering to a fucking nobody, because he is the boss, and saying, I'm not going to give you pay to win. I'm not going to make this game, pay to convenience. We're going to ban people that break TOS, that buy third party gold, that do shit they're not supposed to, and truly make a stand, right? And they've been backing this up with actions. And so if you've been one of those people that is like, I've heard, well, this is a company now that you can say with factual proof that they're not only hearing, but they're doing. And I think that's the biggest thing for me as someone who's creating content for a game that isn't available fully yet. That's all I've ever wanted. I've wanted a company that literally understands the gamer's mentality, understands how beaten we've been, defeated we have been. And, we can go back to interviews where Steven has literally talked about this, the beaten dog syndrome. He mentioned that in his interview with Asmongold. If anybody that knows the MMO psyche, it's Steven, because he is an MMO player too. Is YouTube stream loading for anyone? I hope YouTube isn't having any issues. I apologize if it is. No, I'm able to see it just fine. I maybe just reload potentially. Let me see. To be honest, I'd rather see the non-follower streamers drop off after this weekend. They will come back because their audience will occasionally ask them to check it out. Anyway, new phases in the new beta. Let them complain now. After May or later, no one will remember their content anyways. Yeah, 100%. And this is why I kept telling some of the content creators, I'm like, I'd rather just get all the negative sentiment out now than, I just would. Like, I'd rather just get it out now, because no one's going to remember in a couple of months. Honestly, no one's ever going to remember all the negative shit happening now in December. Like, they're just not. Because as soon as we get the new shiny thing, dude, it baffles my mind how many WoW players are like, dude, WoW's dead. WoW's so dead. And then Blizzard pumps out like a 3-minute cinematic and they're like, bro, WoW's back. Oh my God. Did you see that cinematic? Oh my God. It's like, bro, like the internet is like a 5-year-old. Like, you know, we're so like, in a sense, like bipolar. Like 1 minute we're all up in arms. The next minute we're like, oh, forgiving and, you know, oh, it's okay. Like you're back in our good graces and shit. Like, I don't know. Like, and I think at the end of the day, we're just looking for a product, right? We're just looking for a product. We want a product that we can play for the next 10 to 15 years that doesn't have all the bullshit that has been in a lot of games recently. Like, I was watching a video that Asmongold, or not released, but, you know, he was reacting to some videos about the Dragon Age dilemma. If you know, you know. Thank God we're probably not going to go through that shit. I mean, that's just terrible. But that's the day and age we live in, where people feel they need to educate others on how to treat people. It's like, bro, like, you know, let's not be stupid here, right? Even the stuff with Soda, though, is great feedback for Intrepid. Yes, most of us knew what to do, but the new player, Dad Gamer, might need more guidance to get off the ground. And again, I don't want to poo-poo guidance. I think I completely agree with you, Pockets. I think that is very valid feedback, because here's the thing, or the actual reality of 2024. You, the gamer, if you're playing a game that you want to actually experience, in any point in time you are lost, confused, unsure, you're not going to sit there and pound your head for an hour. Hell, not even 10 seconds. What you're going to do is pop open an extra tab. You're going to type in the objective of the game you're playing that you're stuck on, and you're going to find out the solution. So for the people that are trying to make Ashes of Creation this unhold handy game, guess what? People like me, a content creator, or a person that opens a website up, we're going to hold their hand. So it doesn't matter. Like, people will want someone to hold their hand. And whether it's my content or whether it's someone else's content, someone's going to get their hand holding. That's just the fact of 2024. And it's only going to be more of a fact as we get into 2025 and later down the road. So I am not also advocating for, you know, these big old, like, let's make a golden path and, like, you know, you won't ever be lost or whatever, but offering some guidance that a non-smooth brain person can figure out. Oh, okay, I need to head here. Oh, okay, I need to talk to this person, right? But again, I've heard so many people advocate, it's like, I don't like these quest objective markers. I think markers are stupid. I think they should have to read. Bro, do you know what you're advocating for? You're asking people to read in this day and age. Like, are you stupid? You know what I mean? Like, it ain't gonna happen. Let me see. What are your thoughts about the tutorial stuff in game for the alpha? Think it would have helped Soda not rage quit? I don't think Soda even did the tutorial. Again, what a lot of people end up doing is, because Soda is a veteran MMO player, even though he's played primarily World of Warcraft, he doesn't need to read a tutorial in an MMO. He knows how to play MMOs. But Ashes of Creation is such a different game that he just expected it to be like World of Warcraft. And can you blame him? Every MMO has felt like World of Warcraft. Even bits of New World feel like World of Warcraft. You know? So it doesn't... I guess to me, like, that feedback or that feeling of loss, confusion, anger, because something is just like, you're unable to figure it out. I'm just going to be honest, guys. Like, I think the entire Sweaty Your Brow quest should be completely reworked. Like, completely. I think it needs to be a way better quest. And I have a video that I'm going to work on explaining how the Sweaty Your Brow quest should be redesigned for new players. Yo, Sonny, what's going on, dude? Thank you so much for the raid, dude. We're just over here. We're just excited for the patch notes. We're excited for all the things that are happening right now in the Ashes space. Is just freaking amazing, man. Thank you so much for the raid, man. Hope you were having a great stream. Annalene, dude, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Welcome. And then Bolo Boy and George and Simone, maybe Simone. Nikki Stacks, I Got No Arrows, Sleepy Quack, thank y'all. Melon Knobber, thank y'all so much for the follows, man. Thank you. I'm sorry, I've just been going off on a tangent. I really appreciate you guys coming in the stream right now. We're just chilling right now. We're just talking. We're hanging out. We play some lo-fi music. We're just chilling. Let me see. Did anyone know if it's true that Steven will interview with Canon? Well, Steven commented on his YouTube video that I wouldn't mind talking to you, man. And I think it's a good thing. Like I said, I think it's a good thing. I think Steven needs to talk to Canon because there was a lot of stuff that Canon was implying that maybe Canon doesn't really know the whole story, right? Let me see. Can you explain which quest it is? The Sweat of Your Brow quest is like the second quest that you basically get after you complete your first one, which is you kill 3 goblins. Once you're done doing that, you go turn it into the mayor or the executive of Lion's Hold, and then you attune to the shrine. You go back and talk to him again, and then it gives you like the completed Welcome to Vera. The Sweat of Your Brow quest starts when you go to the professions, when you go down to talk to the profession people. So I think that right there needs to change. So the guy that you just did the quest for that you've already been talking to should actually refer you to the guy that starts the Sweat of Your Brow quest. That's number one. Because you have to understand that the markers and the quests and stuff like that are in Ashes of Creation are far different than almost any MMO. So if they're already talking to the person that they're already familiar with, have that person be the breadcrumb to lead you to the next spot, right? Like, because he just kind of ends it there, and then you just think, okay, I have nothing to do here, right? I'm done. And then a normal newcomer will just leave. So I think that needs to change immediately. But in my opinion, because there's going to be 2 starting areas, the main issue that I've heard the developers say is that they're doing a very poor job of getting people out of Lion's Hold or out of the starting experience. And I think it's for more server worker business, because in order for people to not have the queue, people need to log in, and the server needs to be stable enough for people to be able to log in and play and kill goblins and then leave that server worker. So the surrounding server workers are kind of strained out. So my second recommendation is if you are in, whether you are in Lion's Hold and you talk to the person again to start the Sweat of Your Brow, I think the entire Sweat of Your Brow quest. So again, whether you're starting in Lion's Hold or Somalia's Hope, you should be, you should ask, or the guy should basically say, hey, you have another quest to go to, but you have 2 options. You need to head to either Briarwood Farms or the Western Farmhouse. Either location. So and then that's where you'll start the Sweat of Your Brow quest. So the quest is literally forcing you out of the starting experience zone. And that way, more and more people can log in and basically start venturing outward. That's what I think needs to happen. Because by keeping the Sweat of Your Brow quest in Lion's Hold or in Somalia's Hope, you're literally bottlenecking the queue. Because people are trying to complete this quest, and then if there's issues, if there's bugs, if there's disconnects, they're still stuck in Lion's Hold or they're still stuck in Somalia's Hope. Overall, I don't think it's in the betterment of the gamer, and honestly, it just ventures you outward, right? Like it ventures you out into the world. So you can basically go and get yourself from level 1 to level 2 by killing goblins or whatever and kind of experimenting. And if you want to go to either location, because let's say your buddy started in Somalia's Hope and I started in Lion's Hold, well, I have an option, right? Like I can go with him to Briarwood Farms that's closer to him, or we could just decide, hey, we're going to you're going to come over here. We're just going to go all the way west to, to the stable house and do the quest over there because we plan to go to Jovia, or we're planning to go in that direction. Right. So that's kind of like my thesis for the Sweat of Your Brow. And the Sweat of Your Brow also doesn't do a good job of introducing you to the profession system, which I think is the sort of goal that quest is trying to do. I just don't think it does a good job of doing it, personally. Hey, but what are your thoughts on character names? Like, how is it possible in 2024 MMORPGs doesn't allow numbers in character names? Do you think this will change? What are your thoughts on this? In WoW, the biggest issue is to find a nick that isn't already taken. Thanks. So when it comes to quests, or when it comes to character names, I'm of the opinion to express your name however way you want to express it. If you want to have special characters, hell, there's people that have those special characters with like the N with the little like symbol on top, or these weird dots or whatever the hell. Like, I'm all about character expression. Like, it doesn't really bother me. I think the biggest thing is that with people with special names like that is trying to make them a friend, right? If they're not near you, and you're like, hey, dude, let me add you to my friends list. What's your name? And it's this weird ass name that has all these special characters. I think that's the most annoying part of it from my point of view. But, if we end up meeting or whatever, I can just right click on him, add to friend, and then boom, I'm done, right? Like, to me, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. Too many people are playing the alpha and forgetting it's an alpha. They want a finished, polished game. This is exactly what it is, a testing phase. Well, I think a lot of people have forgotten about that. And, Phantom, dude, thank you so much for the sub, dude. Holy shit, 15 months. Damn. Did Kenan not like Ashes? No, actually he did. He did. He actually really enjoyed himself the weekend he played. I just think that his expectations, I think if he had proper expectations, I think he would have had way more fun. But again, looking at it into the lens of early access, looking into the lens of just, what other experiences he's had MMO wise, it also makes sense why he had those impressions, right? I just don't think a lot of people don't educate themselves because they think they know. They think they know. They've seen a live stream or two. I already know the project, whatever. And they really don't. Ashes is such a huge game. It's so big that I apologize. That you think you do, but you really don't. Honestly, and I'll tell you right now, I've been following this game. I make content for this game. There are still things about Ashes of Creation that I may not know. Like, I've read that wiki backwards and forwards. There's so much stuff that could change, that has changed. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, was this a change that, oh yeah, I keep saying Somalia. Yeah, I know. It's not Somalia. It's Samia's Hope. Again, I can't read, guys. Like, you guys know this. Like, I legit, like, I'm not memeing. Like, I have a hard time reading words. Let me see. Yeah, Massive. Think about how long it takes to run right now. Imagine after the full world is out, and then add Oceans. Huge, and I love it. Dude, Strixon, the fact that they made the horses at a base level faster, and also the fact that they gave them dash as a mount ability, I think is really, really, really good. And I think it's going to go a long way for players. I'm really excited to hop in this weekend because out of all the changes they made this Friday, or just this week alone, it's just been insane. Like, it's just been crazy. Let me see. Did they change the text fonts and size? Bro, no. I've, because I think to myself, font size can't be hard. Like, isn't it just like, look at the code and it's going to say font size X number, just delete, add bigger number. Like, but I'm not a game developer, right? Like, I don't know. Like, and I don't know if that's going to mess with any of the other things on it or whatever, but no, the text is still the same size. It is what it is. It's unfortunate, but they know. Let me just say this. They are aware. It's not saying that they're completely like unaware of this issue of the text size. The text size is definitely on their radar for sure, but stability is priority uno as far as everything else goes. Let me see. We are still in server stability phase, guys. I'm sure it will come later. Yes, it will definitely come later. Font size should be a slider in options. Yes, and I think they probably will. I think, again, you should be able to manipulate font size separate from box size, right? So if you want the boxes bigger, that should be one toggle. If you want font size, that should be another toggle, personally. It shouldn't just be a one size fits all for both, because that's currently what it is right now, and it's kind of crappy. Let me see. It's pretty much to change it. We can move components around everywhere. It's not like the website and scrolling content. You have limited size, so it's hard. Yeah, I mean, again, it's all work in progress. You know, it is what it is. I won your trivia 3 times, and I still don't know everything about the game. Not by a long shot. Calling this game massive is almost an understatement, bro. Honestly, so for those of you guys who haven't been watching me for a stretch of time, I used to do this little trivia show for Ashes called Trivia of Creation. And basically my boy Firebrand, he's won every single one. And it would be this kind of like everybody in chat would basically compete, and it would be this UI thing that would come up. I would do a series of like 30 questions about Ashes of Creation, and it would be on score. So I'm really thinking of bringing that back. I think, especially now that we have way more information, we have a game to play. Yeah, I think I might. I think the only sucky thing about it is I know my YouTube audience, you know, watches me on YouTube. But if you wanted to participate in this, you have to watch on Twitch. I don't think it's going to work on YouTube. At least I don't know. Yeah, at least I don't know. But yeah, it's a really cool thing. Like, I think I actually will bring it back. I have to bring up and make some new questions up, but that might be something to do. Let me see. The DDoS response was incredible. I'm in the cybersecurity for my job, and they moved so fast on that. That was an expensive DDoS. It could have been someone we knew, cough, Blizzard, cough. But everything we have seen thus far in A2, they are testing and improving so quickly. Dude, yeah, I completely agree with you, man. Like, I think from my perspective, dude, like, that's the thing that I've been wanting to stress the most to my community, is just how much they listen and how much they're putting in, right? Like, we know that they're working in crunch right now, but out of all of the changes and every day that they're putting up the PTR, and then more and more of these patch notes come out, it's like, dude. And then the proof is in the pudding. You go into the servers, and it's a different game, dude. The PTR this week is a completely different gaming experience than what you played this weekend or this past weekend for Alpha 1 or Alpha 2, sorry. It is. It's a whole other freaking game, because it's smoother. The AI behavior is way better. The mounts are better. Just everything. It's just elevated. In a week, we've got this much change. This is like the freaky thing about it, right? And we all know that, you know, from the AMA, that we're going to be getting a major or a minor patch, then a major patch, and then pretty much like the phase 2, right? So I really can't wait to this weekend to try out the 2 starting experiences in Samia's Hope and then in Lion's Hold, because I think that's gonna really make the queue way faster for people. And again, the queue this time around, like, I was actually shocked that people were only waiting 3 hours, because I think a 3-hour queue in this day and age is pretty damn good. When people were trying to play New World when it launched, like, that was like a 10-hour queue. There's people, I saw queue times, and I heard of people waiting all day to go into New World. So as much as it's shitty to have a 3-hour queue, it's better to have a 3-hour queue than a 10-hour queue, for sure. I was like that, and pre-alpha 2 gave me a lot of faith. Sad I can't do weekends because of work, but I am more excited to get into the bite hard of phase 2. Yeah, dude, me too. I really hope they don't delay phase 2. I really hope. Did you get your new PC yet? What specs? What did you get specs wise? So I made a video, but I got an NZXT pre-built computer. And what I liked about the NZXT website is the fact that I put, like, every PC component, I chose what I was going to put in there, which is really, really cool. Have they said anything new about adding new servers on the 8th? For the 8th? No, they have not said anything about new servers. I think they're going to try to go in with the servers they currently have. I think if they do add another server, it's probably going to be one additional server, personally. But I mean, who knows, right? I mean, anything could happen. They could announce a wipe, before the 8th, or like, on the 8th, it could be a fresh start for everybody. Or they can say, hey, it's not gonna be a wipe, but we're adding a brand new server for people that want to start fresh somewhere else. That could be the case too. Also take note that on Saturday, all the servers were full. If they maxed out, it was all 30K. They were maxed out. It was 3K concurrent with 18 concurrent. Yeah, I know, it's wild. Do you think AOC should adopt how Final Fantasy 14 did their UI customization and macro setup? I mean, so far, dude, I think for an alpha that's years away, the fact that we even have the UI HUD the way it currently is mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. And I talked to one of my buddies who used to do closed alphas for games. They never had that much customization. Everything was just stuck the way it was. You had no way to even do macros. You had no way to do like anything. Like all the default stuff was default. That's how you played. So again, leaps and bounds away from a lot of other projects. Like, and it's because if you've never done any of that stuff, like you just don't know. Like you don't know what the first impression is because this is your first impression. Let me see. Last Oasis was worse though. Their server seemed like they caught on fire, bro. I mean, even Wayfinder, I don't know what happened to Wayfinder, but I felt really bad for that company or that team because they were really excited about their project. There were people that were really excited about that project, and now that project, I mean, they're barely surviving now. I think it's like less than 1,000 players that are playing Wayfinder. It's pretty sad. Are you gonna roll Renkai? Absolutely. I'm gonna be a Renkai fighter, if not a Renkai ranger. But I can't wait to play Renkai personally. I want Renkai so bad. I was having a convo with my on this with my brother and about most alphas I've ever played, and you had body 1 or body 2, dude. Yeah, and sometimes like again, there were closed alphas that my buddy was in. If you were in the closed alpha for Guild Wars 2, like you only had male option. You didn't have like you had a basic male option. Like with no customization, you just went in with the pre-made male character, and that was that. Because there wasn't any customization, there wasn't a female option. Like it was what it was. So let me see. The question is, why is that Wayfinder ended up with the small player base in the end? Well, I think the reason why is because they went into early access, and then there was also so there was some drama regarding like their monetization. Right, which they ended up changing, but that initial taste was not good to their original backers, and there was a lot of people that just ended up getting a refund, and then their servers were just completely trashed. Like you could not play that game for like an entire week. I know because Richie, our boy here in Ashes of Creation, he had a separate YouTube channel that he was creating content for Wayfinder, and I think he deleted that channel now, but man, his content was hilarious because it was just, you could not play that game at all for a week. The first week it was in early access, you could not play that game at all. So it's a bad first impression, right? When you can't even log into the servers to play. So, and now they've basically made it it's not even an MMO anymore. They haven't even labeled it MMO. It's just some action RPG adventure kind of game now. Being able to buy copper gear at vendors seems a little dumb, seeing how you should be able to craft it. To me, I don't mind it because it's white gear, dude. It's literal white gear. And again, I think this only incentivizes to make the green gear that you do make even better. Because it's like, okay, let's give them the option to buy white gear, but let's actually buff some of the green gear. Why not? Let's make the green gear even more attractive for players. I mean, they could easily do that. It's all just numbers at the end of the day. Oh, man. My throat is killing me. So yeah, guys, that's basically the gist of everything that went down today. I really wasn't planning on streaming right now. Like I said, I've been popping Ricolas like they're M&Ms. Let me see anyone play around the camera point of view option. It seems like to me the stock the camera is primarily attuned to my movement mouses and not my WASD movements. Is there a way to change that from mouse to keyboard? Were you playing in action, or were you playing in tab target? Because I had complete control of my camera in tab, but if you're playing in action mode, when you move your mouse is your camera's locked to your mouse. AOC Intel on Twitter just pumped out today's PTR notes as well. Let me see. Excuse me. I mean, it's so funny, right? Because we're under visual NDA, and this is a visual screenshot of the patch notes. So I'm not going to show them on my screen because I don't want to get in trouble. But yes, if you did want to go to X, they did put up the actual PTR notes. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did. I already read them. I read them at the very start of the stream. Shot Sauce, dude, thank you so much for the sub, dude. Thank you. Really appreciate that. And Zoinked Live, thank you so much for the follow, man. Thank you. Dude, we're 3 followers away from 1,300 followers, dude. 3 followers. It's wild. You can always read them. Yeah. Let me see. Tomorrow is Alpha 2. No time to get sick now. Bro, I'm trying, dude. I guess I'm not sick. My body feels fine. I don't have any headaches. My stomach's good. I don't feel like I'm sick at all. My throat, like, I don't know if it's just like a strep thing or what, but here we go, guys. You guys did it. Cherokee Man 2000, Lit Nanas, Dragon USMC, Almond 666. Dude, thank you guys so much for the follows, man. Thank you. We're officially at 1301 on Twitch. That's freaking nuts, man. Thank you guys so much for all of the support. You guys, you guys are the reason why I'm here, man. You guys are the reason. Is that nice gaming? Holy shit. What is going on, dude? Oh man. Let me see. Brutal. Thank you so much for the follow as well, man. Thank you. Let me see. You watching NBA? No, man. I'm one of those rare dudes that doesn't watch sports ball of any kind. I don't watch football, basketball, baseball. I am a nerd that plays games on the computer. So, no. I sports was something I was never really interested in. Like when I was small, I did watch NBA with my dad back in the 90s because it was just really exciting to watch like the Chicago Bulls. So for me, like my favorite teams, and I couldn't tell my dad this, but I like the Chicago Bulls, but I really did love the Charlotte Hornets too. And I lived in Texas, but I really like Johnson and stuff like that. He was a good player. Let me see. What if AOC will do something with esports? Would you watch that? I don't think Ashes will go down the route of esports. Personally, I don't think the game is even designed for it in a sense, and it doesn't need to, bro. Let me just tell you this right now. Castle sieges or a node siege, when Pirate Software is going to do a castle siege or a node siege on his stream, it will be fucking huge. It'll already be an esport without it being an esport. So, and that's just an example. Like, imagine like when anybody, any node is going to do their first castle or node siege. That event in itself is going to be monumental because we know the consequences that come from the loser. And so depending on who is at stake here, what citizens or what guild or whatever, like that in itself is going to be this huge monumental event. So do I think it should be an esport? No, but I do think it'll still be an event worth watching. 100%. Let me see. Don't bring esports into this. This game is a perfect game for streaming and watching dramas and wars, not esports. Exactly. Mork, I completely agree with you, dude. Do you think that this game is not going to be good for a solo player? I do. Is it going to be the most efficient MMO to play as a solo player? No, not at all. Not at all. But I think there will be parts of this game, many parts actually, that are going to be pretty solo friendly. Those parts are not implemented currently in the game design as of right now. It is in the game design, however. So, but this game has always been, always, the heart of this game was always group focused. Always. Doesn't mean that the solo player is completely like SOL. It just means that, you know, we're incentivizing for you to group up. You can still play solo. It just won't be the most optimal way to do it. And you will take more time. It'll take more time to actually do things than the people that are grouping up. So if you're okay with that, like, cool. But I do think solo players can enjoy this game, 100%. I was playing it solo from 1 to 8. I leveled on the fighter from 1 to 8. But again, that's with mobs not working correctly. I don't know if I could do that now. But yeah, it was really, really good. Let me see. I don't have friends I don't have friends and have social anxiety. Do you have virtual social anxiety? Because I know there's some people that do. But if you don't mind just reaching out to some stranger and be like, hey, do you want to group up? Dude, this is the game to do it, man. Like, I was playing on the PTR and I saw this person. You know what his name was? The Devil. I played with the Devil yesterday. And I was just like, hey, dude, because we were in the same area. And I was like, hey, do you want to group up? And he was a cleric. And so I was like, sure. I was like, you know, let's do it. Let me see, patch notes. Yeah, we actually already went through them. We actually already went through them. There was a shit ton of them. Let me see. The Devil is the cleric. I know, right? Isn't that kind of funny? I was like, hey, he's a cleric. I was like, might as well freaking get some heals, because dude, this game is brutal, dude. This game is brutal. You need a Z pack, my man. Dude, I know. I do. I need something. But it's like, I don't feel sick. I literally don't feel sick. I don't have any congestion. My stomach doesn't hurt. My head's completely fine. It's just my throat. My tonsils are just like blown. You say I just added some people that were killing mobs. I needed for a quest. It worked out great. Yeah, taste some Mucinex DM, my friend. Yeah, the raw honey. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that today, to be honest. But I'm probably gonna leave streaming a little bit because I know my wife, and my kid just got home from school, and we're gonna go trick or treating a little early. They're doing some Halloween fair at her school, and then from there we're gonna go trick or treating at 5. So I have some antibiotics for the same thing. I mean, I was sick a couple of months ago for like something else entirely. I don't know if those meds will work for what I have now. Let me see, has anybody tried the artisan skills yet? Yeah, a lot of people have. I mean, there was people already crafting legendaries, like, and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's just about finding the patterns. Yeah, and again, Jamie, he probably was already making a YouTube video on this right now. I literally, where's my Filmora? I just finished my video. Like almost a 7-minute video about the Wednesday patch notes, and they just updated them with all the new stuff that just happened. So I feel like this video is useless. Like, so one of my followers on my Discord was like, hey dude, I was like, miss you, man. I can't wait to see you stream. And I was thinking, dude, like, I have to redo this entire video now because I want to put in the new stuff because it just went out. Because I've already put out a video, and then knowing that there's new stuff out, they're going to click on my video thinking this is for the new patch notes, and it's not. So that's why I went live to talk about all the new stuff, because there was a crap ton to talk about, basically. God, man. I really hope my cough is not this bad tomorrow, because it's going to be really annoying for people. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let me see. Who is live right now? Is there anybody live in the Ashes category, or is it literally just me? Let's see. I hate Twitch sometimes. I can't. Dude, it's literally just me. Holy God. All the pressure is on me. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Yeah, so excited for the corruption changes. Yeah, I know. There's some massive changes, guys. These are freaking amazing changes. And again, this just goes to the kind of company Intrepid wants to be for us, right? So, guys, I just want to say tomorrow, tentatively, I am probably going to go live at 11 a.m. Central. Servers will go up at noon. I might stream earlier, okay? But I do want to rest my voice as much as possible because I don't want to keep talking, because then I don't want it to be worse, because I plan to stream all weekend. So I'm going to do some herbal stuff, do my raw honey, do all the things I can do to make sure that I can be as 100% as I can tomorrow for you guys. Let me see your thoughts on chat not being clickable in game. Isn't that a pain to group, etc.? On chat not being clickable in game. I haven't experienced that. Like, I think chat to me has been working okay. My whole thing was the whole flagging thing. I mean, it is what it is. You mean the names in chat? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what you're referring to. Eat garlic or garlic cloves? Oh. Let me see. McManus, thank you so much for the follow, man. Thank you. Thank you. Well, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream. You guys have a great rest of your Thursday. Happy Halloween to everybody. Go spend time with your family, friends, kiddos. I'm going to go trick or treat with my little girls. You guys stay classy, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the week 2 of Alpha 2. You guys stay awesome. Later, guys.